When Somig was describing this, I was wondering if he was talking about somebody else or whether he was talking about me. You see, it's the one thing you want to hesitate on is to have a good friend of yours describe you in general to other people. You may not recognize yourself from his glowing description. So thank you very much. Now, Arye, what am I supposed to do next?
Well, the format is if you would like to share with us, you've chosen some text from Hindu scripture to share with us. And then we're going to have a circle of reflection on that. And if you like, you can offer a question to us for us to address as we're reflecting on those passages from Scripture.
All right. I've chosen several passages to illustrate a certain idea. And I think this is the most fundamental idea in the realm of spirituality or religion. And it's said these passages refer to this in truth in various ways. First of all, I should say that all these passages come from either the Upanishads or the Bhagavad Gita. And the Upanishads date back thousands of years, not just 2,000, probably 4,000 years or more. And the Bhagavad Gita, probably less time, but still, these are all very ancient. So the qualification of these passages is that they've been around for a very long time, and people have experimented with them, thought about them, tried to deeply understand them, tried to realize the truths that they are that these passages indicate, and they have stood the test of time. That is their recommendation. It's not that they're guaranteed to be the truth. They're not guaranteed to be the truth or the only truth. Their value is that they have been tried for thousands of years and they have withstood the test of time. That's their only qualification. Not that anything more fundamental, anything more true or more unarguable could never be found. That claim is never made. It's just that these statements encapsulate that wisdom. So I will quote a few things. And the first one is from the Isha Upanishad. No, I'll change that. The first quotation is first two quotations are from the Katha Upanishad, and they are brief. They're just 2 lines each. So I'll quote them in Sanskrit, and then I'll give the translation. The first one is this: Yadeveha tadamutra tad anviha. That means that which is here, iha, is also there, atra, amutra, and that which is there is also here. Mrityo samrityum apnoti ya iha naneva pashyati. He goes mrityo from death, mrityum to death. Who, iva, as it were, sees difference here. This is the crucial thing. And this is actually a principle for our whole life. We get into a lot of psychological and emotional trouble and intellectual trouble by trying to see the difference between one thing and another. And that has a great value. It's called viveka. There should be discrimination. between one thing and another, that things, one should be able to see in detail the difference between one thing and another, so one has clear vision. But when one looks for the ultimate reality of things, when one tries to find or to discover, is there such a thing as an ultimate reality, the seeing of differences is counterproductive. There, the important thing is to see what is the common element in all these things. The surface shows difference, but what is the reality? If you're looking at an ocean, for instance, the ocean may be full of waves. Some may be huge, and then there may be little ripples on the surface. There may be bubbles on the surface also. The water takes so many different forms. Now, if you're trying to find out what is true about the ocean, what is true is not the individual characteristics. Those are accidental. Some may be big or small. Some may be, have one shape or another. But the idea is to see what is the common factor. What is the reality that underlies everything? And the reality that underlies everything, that it's all water. It may look totally different in one respect to another, but it's all water. So if you try to find out what the ocean is like, there's a great value in analyzing each of the individual details. But if you want to find out what is the essence of the thing, what is the core reality, to look at the waves and to look at the bubbles and to look at the foam, these are all manifestations of what? The idea is try to find the common factor, which is water. If you study water, you will immediately, automatically also understand what the wave is, what the foam is, what every other manifestation of water. Once you understand what is the central truth. So this statement from the Upanishad says that the central truth, try to find the central truth, what is true here and what is true there. If you look at the details, you go mrityu, samrityum, you go from death to death. Okay, that is one idea. Then the idea is once you find what that reality is, then what is that reality has a certain name. In other words, every religion of the world avers that there is a reality which they call God or the Spirit or the Buddha, nature, whatever name you want to give it, the Atman, Brahman. But the common discovery of all religions is that there is a reality, there is an essence which can be reached, and when one reaches that essence, one has been able to understand the reality of all the details as well. So that is the basic message.
Thank you. A lot to think about. Swamiji, do you have a question for reflection that you would like to offer to us?
Rather than, again, in the same vein, rather than concentrating on the difference between one thing and another, what is it that is the fundamental reality that we can establish in our experience? What is fundamental to our reality? And the suggestion is try the idea of consciousness, which in Sanskrit it would be called chit or existence, sat. But it's easier to think of consciousness. If one tries to identify existence, consciousness, that it's also called ananda, joy, sat, chit, ananda. that is the description of what the ancient sages and the modern sages who have tried it have discovered at the core of reality. So try to focus on that.